Hey everyone, welcome to the Chronos server. Today I'm starting things off at the Nether Hub. We're coming up on our 5-year anniversary, and it's still an empty hole, which isn't ideal. But what we've done is we've actually built one of my projects in survival. It's the Creeper Farm storage. So today I'm going to sort of show you around that, give you a demonstration, because I think it's actually quite a cool storage. So you can see it here, just over this perimeter wall. It's a lazy looting creeper farm. The overworld side is methods, boat spam, portal spam, the usual. Nether side, you've got a corner portal farm over there with a TNT conveyor and a player placing TNT over there. The creepers are out of render distance, so they're in lazy chunks, which means they don't really cause much lag. And because we're blowing up with TNT, you can actually use looting on them, which is quite cool. So it makes about 3.5 million gunpowder now. So we've also got a piston bolt and a bunch of chests. So I'll explain sort of how the storage works, what it does, give you a demonstration now. So this is the main part of the storage. So we've got standard minecart stuff that we've got at all of our stations here. So we've got a receptacle for carts that will accept minecarts, you can do things with them. We've got all the station selection here, so you can put in a code manually or pick from one of the presets. Here we've got item call, so this lets you call different items from the storage to load into carts and send them somewhere else. Over there is the actual farm and a little bit of storage, about 1 million for TNT. Here is the main sort of party piece. So this is the main storage bit of it, or the main player interface with the storage. So we've got gunpowder, TNT, all 3 durations of rockets. You can see we've run the farm a bit already. We've got some TNT, some gunpowder, some of each type of rocket. And they're also box displays, so they'll place a box down, you can take items out, like I need some rockets, so I can just take rockets out. And once the box is empty, which I'll just simulate that now, it will replace it with a new one. So you've always got access to loose items, which is quite nice. You may not think that's a lot of storage for a farm that makes 3.5 million gunpowder an hour, and you're right. The storage is actually here under the floor. We've got about 50 million storage for gunpowder, which is a fair bit. Fills up fairly quickly though when the farm's this fast. And we've also got storage here for TNT, each type of rocket, about 6 million of each of them. And then over here we've got storage for sand and sugarcane for the crafters. Over here we've got the interface for all of the crafting ingredients. So you can put in sand for TNT, sugarcane for rockets, as you can see there, and then you've got all of the box ingredients here, so boxes of shells, boxes of spruce logs to craft into chests, into boxes, and then you've got 4 dye colours. So if you look at the boxes, you'll see they're all colour-coded, so pink for duration 1, red for duration 2, etc. And this is a new device that I've made, it's expandable. It's a 16 game tick box crafter that takes a signal strength input and then automatically sends a box to one of these crafters and dyes it the right colour. It's actually a really nice system. I might make a video on that by itself just because it's quite useful. But you can see it outputs boxes into those water streams there to go to the right place. It's actually a really nice system. If you're wondering how we got water in the nether, I'll link a video showing that in the description. The last part of this sort of upper area that I want to show off is the actual crafter sort of on-off panel. So here you can turn on any or all of the crafters. You can do just one type of fireworks, just TNT, any combination of them. And I've done my best to sort of make it quite robust, so if you spam it, it doesn't matter. But let's have a look at it actually crafting. Let's start with the TNT crafter because it's the simplest. We've basically got 15 slices. They're all the same. They're made up of 2 box unloaders and a crafter and then a global clock. So this side does gunpowder, this side does sand, and every 42 game ticks, the observer line above it will power. There's a clock at the front which controls that and doesn't let it run if it's low on ingredients or if it's in cooldown. There are a few other conditions, and then these hopper lines put the TNT into boxes. It'll do about 26,000 TNT an hour, which is more than fast enough to sustain the farm, so you can actually just run the farm off sand. Next we'll have a look at the rocket crafters. So these are 2-wide tileable slices. There are 14 of them. It's actually the same slice for all types of rockets. So we've got 2 box unloaders, sugarcane gets crafted into paper here, and then it gets crafted into rockets in this one, and automatically put into shulker boxes. It's actually the same wiring for every type of rocket, it's just set up differently, so you can see different numbers of slots available. And then if we have a look underneath, there are different clocks. So the duration 1 has a faster clock than duration 2, and then duration 3 is the slowest. But you can still tile them next to each other, so it looks like one thing, but it's sort of 3. And you can see they're all color-coded as well. We've got orange ones here, then red for duration 2, and pink for duration 1. And if we're lucky, we'll see some break now. Yeah. So that's duration 2. You can see they get aligned against hitboxes, and they all get sent down the same water stream, and then they collide with the next size up hitbox. So that's now gone into the correct slice, even though it's only gone through 1 water stream instead of 3, which is quite cool. Unfortunately, the crafters are quite slow. I've been running them in the background while recording this. As you can see, they're still on. If we go in free cam and have a look, you can see the clocks are still running, trapdoors are flicking, observers are going off. But if we look in the chests, they're filling up quite slowly. Fortunately, you don't actually have to run the farm to run the crafters. You can have the crafters running off the gunpowder storage. So if we go in spectator, you can see we've got about 50 million storage of gunpowder, and the crafters can drain that storage to run. So what we're probably going to do is run the farm for 11-12 hours to fill the storage, and then just leave the crafters running, and then they can just run in the background so they have negligible impact on server performance. Unfortunately, I can't show you this fully working, but this is the minecart interface. So you basically pick an item that you want to call out of any of the outputs of this farm, so the gunpowder, TNT, rockets, and then you pick how many carts you want to fill. So you can pick increments of 5 or just indefinite unloading. We don't have enough chest carts at the moment, as you can see, so we can't do it right now. But that's how it would work if we were to do it. In other news, the Geode perimeter is coming along quite well. We bombed out this entire perimeter, regenerated all the chunks with geodes in them, which is about 80-90 geodes, about 3,300 budding amethyst blocks, and then we hand mined the chunks with geodes in them. We're currently in the process of making the top layer of floor non-sticky, otherwise flying machines will stick to it. But it should be a cool project if anyone actually wants to design the farm, because I don't have time. Anyway, I want to thank Mr. Kartoffel for some cool hex-to-binary transmission stuff that I used in the storage. It just sort of cleans it up a bit, means I don't need as many wires going around the place to turn things on and off. And I want to thank Ponch for helping me with mainly some plumbing things, deciding where to route some things. I appreciate his help with that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you found it entertaining or useful. You can actually reuse a lot of the tech from this in other farms, so hopefully we can design future farms more quickly and make other cool stuff like this. Anyway, see you in a bit. I also want to thank Bread for making the actual creeper farm. That's quite a significant part of the project. And I want to thank Hatred for helping build it in survival. He was an absolute machine and got that nether water done super fast, so thank you to Hatred.